that if there is a question or a doubt, just ask the client. Just ask, and there is no wrong answer. And so that is an extremely valuable thing that I learned during my MCC from Cindy. I must share that.
Hi, everyone. Today is a special day. We are talking about uniqueness. And I wasn't gonna come because guess what? I'm in pajamas and this is my hair. But it's been requested that I should be brave and showcase my uniqueness. So I am here for all of you lovely people. And no one's saying hi to me. Is everyone scared? Is everyone scared?
Oh, no, not at all. We just love your lovely hair, admiring you.
Yeah. Thanks, Ramcharan. I don't think it's the best, but so I'm pretending to be a troll, like, those little toys from is it 80s or 90s? Whatever. You know what I'm talking about? The little troll dolls? No?
Those little things, right?
Yeah. And at one point, I think Ursula from The Little Mermaid. And then another time I looked like Hades from the Hercules cartoon. So anyway, I'm having lots of fun. But, I guess every time a new year happens, it's an opportunity to redefine. It's a chance for a new start of some sort if you want it. So I suppose by default, mine is embracing my natural self. Which is why I'm here in pajamas and with this hair. So I apologize to anyone who comes to these webinars and is like, this is professional people being professional. Yes, the three ladies on the screen, this one, I suppose not. I am the comic relief. So nice to see you, everyone.
Just as you're coming in, sorry, Magda, as you're coming in and embracing, keeping with the theme today, embracing uniqueness, go ahead and tell us one thing that you would like to embrace about your uniqueness this year. At least one. You can do more, but at least one thing.
Yeah, that's lovely. So I'm embracing whatever I can, because why the heck not? But for all of you who are embraced, I'm trying to think of a good segue. I can't think of a good one because I'm very embarrassed a little bit, not very, a little bit. But I do have some exciting news as usual. Guess what? ICF in its infinite wisdom is changing things all the time. And one of these changes is, well, there are many interesting good changes. One of the really good changes for us is that webinars like this one, the recordings of them now are eligible for continuing education credits. So you can actually, for those of you who attend live, you get certificates. Awesome. But from now on, if you go to our YouTube channel and you watch past webinars, you can claim those as core competency credits as well, which is awesome because guess what? We have literally thousands of hours of great webinars where I'm edited out. So don't worry, you don't have to look at my awkward hairstyles. But people like the three other lovely ladies on here are in lots of our great webinars. So if you are looking to renew your credential, please keep attending these webinars, because I think one of the things that makes our webinars great is because there's a live audience and because we're interacting on the chat and, with your questions. So please continue attending, please. But in addition to that, and please go to our YouTube channel, subscribe and watch past webinars and log those down. So when you do apply for your credential renewal, you don't have to email me in panic, hey Magda, how do I get my webinars? You can just look at your little log and be like, oh yeah, I watched A, B, C, and D on Coacharya's YouTube channel. And if you subscribe, you can also go to your watch history so that you can see which webinars you watched. So you don't have to even think about it come renewal time. So lots of good reasons to subscribe to YouTube channel and to watch and to learn, because I think all of our webinars are quite educational, on top of the entertainment value that they have and the community building that they do. So please tell your friends, etc., etc. We appreciate it. But yeah, and the podcast version, someone's asking, the podcast also, I think same thing, subscribe, and then your podcast app will keep track of what you listened to on your individual phone. But yes, you can claim those as CCE and our blog posts as well. So that's pretty cool. What's nice, I guess, kind of. So on our website, when you go to the blogs, on top of the screen, it always says how long the read is. And they're usually, 5 to 10 minutes. So not a very big time. You can't claim a whole unit for that. But as you know, when it comes to the continuing education, is not just, the time that you spend consuming the content. In the case of reading things, it's what are you thinking about? How are you reflecting on it? How are you applying it? So if reading is more up your lane, I can't speak today, oh my gosh. If reading is something that you prefer, you can read the blog posts and then perhaps, note down a reflection, think about it. And you can use that as units towards your credential renewal as well. So that's pretty exciting. You will be getting an email from me this week with all of that. So if you missed it, don't worry about it. But long story short, we have lots of great content. Please interact with it. And thank you for being here. Please continue being here because we love seeing you. And on that note, I will take my crazy uniqueness this morning and hand it over to Cindy.
Thank you. And that was really good news. I was quite impressed with that. Yeah, we are really able to kind of now capture different ways of core competency units. Hi, everyone. Wonderful to see you all here for the first Masters in Coaching webinar this year. And as you've seen that email, we are embracing uniqueness. Or this year, we're assuming the role, or we're taking on a theme of embracing uniqueness. Uniqueness of the coach, client. If you're on this call and not yet a coach, you're still embracing your uniqueness. And of the coaching process, of the processes we design together with our client that brings out the best in them. Today's webinar is going to bring out or highlight whatever's showing up in the moment where the coach would work with a client within that space. So you're looking for uniqueness and you may be looking for core competencies, but I want to say something about core competencies. We're in a Masters in Coaching webinar, ends. Core competencies is core, or the very foundation that we start building on in how we work with clients in a thought-provoking and creative way. It's its core, right? And upon that will come all the layers of how the coach will partner with the client to design the best way forward for the client in the way they're making progress and working on their goals. So bear that in mind, keep that framing in mind as you listen today. And without saying anything more, I'm going to introduce you to our two very special master coaches, Bhavna and Mugdha. You've been exposed to Mugdha before, and she did some live coaching, and her coaching is on the YouTube channel. Bhavna is an extraordinary coach with so many talents that I sent a link to you to her LinkedIn page. Please check her out. besides being an author and running her own business and doing some really ahead of its time work with clients, she's just a wonderful human being, and I so enjoy interacting and working with her. Bhavna, I'm going to hand over to you and to Mugdha. The coaching will be around 40 minutes or so. I'm going to let coach and client decide their end point, and thereafter we'll have a bit of a discussion. And of course, you may go ahead and put your comments and thoughts on the chat as the coaching continues. Over to you, Bhavna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Cindy. And it's wonderful to come back home to Coacharya. I just want to share with everybody before we get started that I have done all my certifications, ACC, PCC, NCC, and Cindy was my master coach for PCC, NCC. Too much learning from that first moment when I met Ram, and Mugdha is extremely special to me because I recorded both my NCC recordings with her, and I think she's done one with me. And we just shared a very special bond. So I'm extremely grateful to come a full circle, and thank you so much, Cindy, Coacharya, and Mugdha. So welcome, Mugdha. How are you?
Thank you, Bhavna. It's like getting in touch with old friend. So I'm so comfortable. And Cindy being my guide also, I feel like being back at self-study table. So very comfortable.
Exactly. So shall we jump right in, Mugdha?
Yes, please.
Okay, great. Okay, so let's get started. How are you today?
Very happy to meet you, first of all, after a long break. So that's where I am. Generally happy with lots of things happening all around. It's really well timed that we are having this session. So very glad for this universal conspiracy. Me being appointed to be the client and you as my coach, I think it is destiny's call via Cindy. So very happy.
I couldn't agree more. I totally am with you there. As always, you always start your conversations with your, that emotion of happiness. And it's just really so wonderful for you to do that. You said that there's a lot happening around you. Do you have something in mind that you want to bring to our conversation today?
Yes. Actually, I'm at a flux of my career where I know that there will be significant change in my career for sure. And multiple doors are opening simultaneously. Each one of them are very respectful, very high potential in different directions. The catch is which one to choose, or can I take all of them along and integrate and do something? And first, biggest question is whether I should be responding or leading it. So I realized that all things started opening up when I was in a witnessing mode. Now that they have opened up, should I be continuing being in the witness mode or take charge and make decisions? Because everybody is actually putting it back on me, and I'm trying to put it back on them. And it has been happening for a while. So is that the way to continue? Or should I be saying, this is what I pick up and start walking with it? So actually, I have you can say problem of abundance, worry of rich people, where you have multiple choices, all of them. If I pick any one of them, it's good only. But whether to lead it or respond is where I am in a dilemma.
First of all, congratulations with all these opportunities coming your way. I think that's absolutely fantastic, and I'm so excited for you there. It's interesting how we've done our sessions in the past on the without the video, and I noticed what was very special for me today to notice is, your hand movements. And when you were talking about all these different opportunities, and then people asking you to choose, and there's this, so there was this abundance, like you mentioned, and then there was some integration here, and there was when you said, what do I pick? I saw such a strong certainty in your action there. I'm just curious. I wonder if that means anything to you.
Yes, integration is closer to my heart, and picking is very tricky. I think picking one, while I can do it, it will be like picking it out of the entire ecosystem. Whereas I like ecosystem, I like all of them to evolve together as part of me. But which one to center it around? I know that everything is coming around my area of work, which is entrepreneurship development, self-empowerment way of living. So women and nationwide, globally. So everything is in that area, but with different specializations. So if I pick one, then I know I can put others around it and create an ecosystem. But like an atomic structure, it can start from any angle. So which angle to choose, which one to center, which will be the central point first, is a question. And I'm so much in love with each of the possibilities that I'm not sure which one is the central one. Now, waiting there and not picking one, is it a right thing to do? Let the time itself pick it, let it happen, or cause it. So that is where I am, because this is the situation for a few months now. And that's where I'm not so sure.
What I'm hearing you say, like you said earlier, should I lead or respond, or let it happen, or cause it? You love the ecosystem, and here a part of you is having to pick from the ecosystem, but I also heard you say that everything is connected. So eventually you would be able to somehow, put it all together. Is there anything else that's happening? You said there were a lot of things happening around you. Is it all related to this, or is there anything else that's happening that you might want to share other than this?
Yeah, I'm a spinster and my work is my life. So even though this looks to be a part of professional life, that's what my life is, and I enjoy what I do, and I do what I enjoy. So practically, though it is just the profession part, it makes the entire flavor change in my life. One thing I would like to share here is, while I can see integration, not the people who are offering it are able to see the integration. They are thinking that they are standalones and hoping me to choose them. While I can see that all are connected, they are not the one who are seeing it. So if I pick anyone, that means I will have to be theirs for time. Maybe later on I may be able to get them to realize that let us take other initiatives also together, because together we can make a greater impact more sustainably and scalably. So my ability to see that they are not realizing it is making it little difficult, that if I commit to any one of them, I will be committing for only that portion of ecosystem, at least for initial few period. So it's little ironic, sad, because on empowerment field or in the field of entrepreneurship development, sooner we do more synchronized effort, better it is. So actually I am in a hurry to take everybody along, but everybody is saying that to whom you belong. So it's a point of equilibrium dilemma. Everybody's saying who are part of which curve, decide.
So what would, as you shared this with me, and I'm hearing you, what would you like to, really focus this conversation on exactly?
See, I would like to know my role a little better to myself. Am I going to lead this in a particular direction, or am I going to witness it actively? So I think I need to be little more clear. 51% what? I know even if I lead, I will witness. Even if I witness, I will lead. But I have been at a level of 50-50. If I can decide which is 51 at this point in time, that will help. So somebody wrote before starting of this session about uniqueness. Everybody was talking. So uniqueness of the moment. So I would like to identify uniqueness of this moment at this point in time. At times I have been leading, at times I have been witnessing. What is the call of this moment?
What is it?
I don't know. I'm
What's
sure
the number that pops up?
See, I'm looking for that 1% on either side. If I can get that clarity, right now it's 50-50. By the end of this call, if I can say this side gets the 51 and this one is 49, then I can go with it.
And so just so that we are clear, what you'd like to focus the conversation on, you mentioned the point of equilibrium earlier. At this point, you are feeling 50-50 about whether you should lead or witness. And you would like to get more clarity on, even if it's by that 1%, but you don't want it to be 50-50, you want it to be shifting, even if it's 49-51.
Yeah. Rather, I would say I want it to be 49 and 51 only. Because this balance is very nice otherwise. So just 1% is good enough. Witnessing way of leadership has been helping me much more than my earlier leadership style. And I have cultivated that through our coaching conversation series. So it's dear to my heart. At the same time, there is lots of pressure building up. Now, Feb, March, many things are nearly coming to a close deadlines. Everybody's closing on their deadlines for decision to happen. Right now, when I speak, within next 15 to 20 days, a decision will be taken. Now, should it be taken by others for me? Should it be taken by me and communicated to others? Is the question. So timelines are closing in. And that's where I am. So that 1% is all I'm looking at.
You said the timelines are closing in, and that 1%, you like the balance, but you would still like to, really be clear, to understand your role better. You want to know whether it should be 49 or 51. What is so significant about bringing this to our conversation today, right now, as opposed to anything else?
See, the way I approach this turn of my career will define the beginning of that career. So say I'm taking up one particular role. If I take role at a level of South Asia, if I have taken it up, then a different level of ownership comes. If it has been done by the selectors, then I'm having a different way of approaching that role. So the level of ownership changes, whether it was my decision or it was a decision which I responded to. On my, I like giving analogies. So all grooms are nice, but whether I am choosing the groom or groom is choosing me, the entire tone of that marriage will be different. So it is very clear, very important that it's clear to me whether I am choosing it or the project is choosing me.
Okay. So how is it? So you said let's take the analogy forward, right? And then you talked about more ownership if you're choosing it. What else is different if the groom is choosing you versus you choosing the groom?
I'm just being me, okay? So what I have realized is when I try to do something, I end up writing the first two letters of the word doom. And when it is happening to me, I can actually enjoy the happiness more lightheartedly. So that doership is kept aside, and I can see the wonder of the happening, the goodness of the happening, and I'm more happy. So I'm lighter when it is happening to me. I'm little heavy on myself if I see that I'm doing it. So on one hand, I get more ownership, but that ownership comes with a burden. And that burden is actually not helping me blossom. I have been more effective and efficient when it's happening. I can continue being my childlike self, which has been my uniqueness and keeping me me. Whichever project I actually tried doing, I was qualifying for it till the time I decided to do it. My sense of doing generally doesn't gel with my being otherwise. So my doing happens at the cost of my being. So at the same time, right now I'm being bombarded that, hello, what more? When are you going to make the decision? It is your decision. Whereas I can see that it is happening to me and it needs to happen. No, but I have been an active person also. So just sitting there waiting for it to happen also is testing my patience. I know that it's coming closer on its own. So the patience is not going to be tested for long. But I want to be doubly sure, Bhavna, because this is a crucial stage and a crucial decision moving forward there. Final decade and a half of my career. So it makes a big decision.
I can sense the emotions that you talked about, and then by the end you just quietened down a little bit, indicating the seriousness of this for you. How did you feel as you slowed down?
Yeah, it is calling out for big strength. As I'm explaining it to you, in just last few minutes, things are becoming clearer to me. That actually I don't want to do it. Actually, I am happy being me. Let it happen, whatever happens, however it may happen. Because I know my being is strong enough. And whatever may happen, ultimately all the alternatives are nice only. They're going to help me evolve only. So actually somewhere I'm realizing that I want it to happen. At the same time, the seriousness of this, the impact of this for my life and my career is so serious. Being in that fragile state of just being, let it happen, is actually asking for a lot of strength to hold on to just being and not get on with the earlier self of doing. It is very it is asking for me to trust myself and my being unconditionally, and even trust the universe unconditionally. So can I trust both of them unconditionally and let it happen is the catch.
Can you?
Yeah.
Can you?
I can, but I'm yet to. So I have been there and now it is closing on. because this is not how I am being seen. I'm seen as a standing up for oneself, self-made person, very decisive, at times assertive and dominant. So people are not treating me like that. People are saying that, okay, so what you decided? Okay, so what you want to say? And I have to dodge it. Remind myself that yes, I want to just be. And the way I see myself, although people may not see, I would like to be true to how I feel about myself within.
Okay. So you talked about, this heaviness, the burden, the pressure when you have to lead, meaning when you have to do, maybe when you said you are the ones who are doing it, right? As opposed to being, you feel like you're true to yourself and there is a certain lightness. There is strength that you need. I could almost sense that you want to try to explore that, but there is some strength that you need. So what do you need to resolve within you to get that strength?
Thanks for asking this question, because I'm realizing that just being is such a big doing. It is taking a toll on me just to continue being and not budge. So although it may look not doing from outside, it's quite a doing as far as my inner work is concerned. So rather than doing things outside which has caused doom to me, let me do work inside on my being. I need to integrate being and doing simultaneously and appear more integrated as a person to the outside world. So maybe I need to do being inside, and outside they will end up taking decision within few days in any case, because time will not stop. Decision has to be taken. If I let them take the decision, then their co-ownership will be ensured. Their own eagerness, their own partnership will be ensured, and which will be very, very crucial for that project, whichever direction. Whoever takes first decision ends up taking my partnership first. But that person's ownership, I would like to give that person the credit, so that co-ownership will not be a problem, because I have a tendency to own my project or own my work fully in any case. So I know even if it is assigned to me, my ownership is going to be there. But if I take even a slightest lead, then I may likely to raise expectations. Then it becomes client and service provider rather than a partnership decision. Even if it does not happen in that person's mind, I am likely to have that fear that whether I promised and the person is trusting me, should I be doing it? I may build that expectation pressure myself. Even if the person is still in a partner mode, I may unnecessarily burden myself thinking that, oh, I promised this, I promised that. I am in front of them with my total reality. Let them take their decision. That way, I have promised only my being, my complete self, and let them make a decision, because they know their situation, their project requirements better than me. I will be getting into it.
So I correct me if I'm wrong, but what you're saying is that your sense of ownership is really strong, and in your head, when you lead somewhere, the co-ownership will be stronger when you're being and the decision is made by them. But if you are making that decision, then that means that you may take on more of that ownership, and then it stops being a partnership?
Yes, my 49% will always remain 49%. But if I try to make it 51% on the doing side, with my enthusiasm, focus, and leadership, it may easily become 75%, 90% as the project grows.
Okay, so I'm just curious, does that mean you have a little bit more understanding towards the topic of our conversation that we started out with?
Yes,
Where are you right now?
yes, my question was, should I continue being witness mode or doing the leadership mode? I'm realizing that I'm more of a freebie kind of person who would like to keep it on a being level. That way I can actually serve better. So I have started tending more towards the witness side, remembering that is the very reason why I'm getting many opportunities. Continue that, and let the leadership happen after the decision is taken. So automatically, then that will be more appropriate. I'm more comfortable. I'm getting there. I'm getting that one person needs to be more on the being side. And my earlier confusion that am I avoiding, am I escaping, or am I shirking away from doing? And now that I realize in our conversation that it's quite doing. The only thing it's doing internally. I need to remind myself that being unconditionally confident about myself and about the world around is quite a work. So I'm quite a spiritual seeker. So I say the real sign of a spiritual seeker is what's the worry? So if everything is designed by universe, so just be in the flow. Any hiccup is a sign of you being not so much sure about the spirituality of the moment. Everything is conspired by universe. Anything happens only when many variables coincides, and we are just one of the variables. So I'm getting that even if my doubt or dilemma is a call towards me to do my spiritual work more, rather than get out and start taking decisions and actions. It is actually calling out for that my own spiritual depth is not 100% as yet. So let me work on it as well. These decisions will come and go, but that work will be with me for a longer time. So practically, I'm getting my answer.
What is the work that you need to do on your spirituality to feel that 100% confidence and that unconditional trust that you were talking about earlier?
Initially, one Bollywood movie dialogue is there. I need to do that. All is well, all is well, all is well. So I need to tell myself that I know all is well, but then saying that so it is one thing I can do immediately. It is holding on to a particular date by 31st March or something. Things are going to be clear because financial year ending in India. So New Year will start with a bang. So keeping myself a little busy on the goodness of all the options, on the goodness of my own strength. So I can get busier with my own studies because any direction my career moves, my competencies will be of help. So I can get little busier, sharpening my competencies in general. I can get busier studying the goodness of all the options. So I think I need to do all is well and get on the hat of student rather than examiner. And put this time busy in studying. That way, I will be appreciative of whatever may happen.
How does that sound?
That sound more like me. I'm happy, appreciating. I'm happy, loving whatever comes to me. So if I'm studying, that is appreciative inquiry for me. And I will fall in love with all the paths, even if I end up choosing whichever groom may choose me.
Yeah, I was going to exactly ask you, bring back that analogy.
Huh.
What does that look like now with the groom choosing you versus you? How would you said whichever groom chooses you, is that?
Yeah, I'm Hindu by religion. So we believe in many idols, different virtues, different idol who have different characteristics in dominance. So for bravery, we have one God. For compassion, we will have another God. For positivity, we'll have another God. So depending on different circumstances, we'll call out on different God who has that particular virtue we need to imbibe. But at the same time, with so many gods, we are also told that actually you are trying to worship the universal force, which is beyond any size and shape. So ultimately, it is all one. So oneness remains at the background, but it is difficult to go for oneness directly. Hence, a path of that is whichever God or whichever virtues you choose in the form of that virtue representative God. So that religious frame of mind, whoever becomes my groom, we say that the spouse is God, typically. So if I have to follow that particular project as if it is God, I know that slowly I will expand that project to be all inclusive, all pervasive, ending up taking virtues of all other projects as well. I know me. Whatever I will touch, I will help it blossom, break its boundaries, and become all pervasive. So even if my groom is of a particular personality at this point in time, I know that whatever I have studied in other grooms, which is good and gentleman-like, I'll help this groom also get there, slow and gradually. So doesn't matter how which path I start.
Your analogy is always so beautiful, Mugdha, and this one you encapsulated it so beautifully. I want to now check in with you at this point. I know in the middle we started out with the 49 or 51, and then you felt like you were leaning towards the 51. You got deeper understanding into, what is it that's holding you away from fully feeling that 51. The last few things that you said, I could sense that confidence, that we were talking about earlier, that unconditional trust. Where are you at? Is there any other aspect that you'd like to explore to go into this fully as yourself and feeling like yourself?
I think our conversation has helped not only me get my answer, but also prepare how I would go about it, how I would keep, what I will be doing, so as to say, as work within, so that I can continue being. So it has got me some path indicators also. What I would like to tell, maybe as a final remark that I need to remember so that I do not get into this dilemma again, is being is quite a doing. Sometimes I remain so happy and so lighthearted that at times I wonder, am I even doing work? Am I being responsible? Am I being serious enough? Am I being a real professional, doing justice to what I have been put faith for? So I would like to, what I get from this conversation is, it's quite a work. It's not shirking away from responsibility. It's rather being not overcommitting. When I be fully present, that's the full commitment I can. If I do anything more than that, that may amount to overcommitting. And that might be the reason where I'm not even doing justice to the project. So standing up for myself is one thing. but putting myself on others' decision making or influencing their way of thinking, not necessary. If I can just be there with full commitment, full options, full availability, total transparency, that's where my doing ends, with my complete being. So, and it's quite a hard work. So I would not question my hard workness or seriousness or commitment in times to come, just because I'm happy being.
And what would you like to say to that Mugdha who's doing that hard work?
See, whatever I did in my life, people remembered me because I gave a part of me. And that part of me was very happy and contented and with total faith in them. So if I'm looking forward to such potential partners, if I could give total faith, even to beneficiaries, even to the underprivileged, even to the strangers, wouldn't it be all the more required that my potential partner, I give total charge for them to decide? So I would like to say this to myself, that my best is in being me, and the best I can offer is me, not my work, not my intelligence, not my decisions, but me itself. So let me offer my essence itself. Why dilute it through any actions when I can give the essence as it is?
Beautiful. So what kind of support or any other resources? I know you mentioned, some of the things that you will actually do to be, but what if you could sort of summarize all of that? What would that look like?
First of all, I would like to tell myself that you can see how much oil I have put for this session to happen. I would like to integrate that being and doing itself, as being is the doing. I would like to keep it and apply it in every part of my work, even after the project starts. I'm just a variable, so I need to be me, and that's the part of my role in any experiment or any challenge or any initiative. So I need to continue remembering this even after the decision making phase is over. So one thing I'm going to definitely do is create a short link of this video recording. If I think that I'm going to go back to the dilemma, I would like to listen to myself and get back there again. And third is just give myself right to be lighthearted, happy, and floating, and still consider that as a genuinely, thoroughly professional contribution to any project.
And any kind of additional support or resources or anything that you need, which will, like you said, the recording, but is there any other thing that comes to mind that will help you continue to be that special, unique essence of yourself?
Yes, somewhere beginning of the session, I was saying that whenever I tried doing it, I created doom. So I need to remember those dooms also. When I overdid it, went out of my being and tried telling others how they should be, or tried affecting their being. So remembering those don'ts helps. And more than that, remembering those happiness moments. When I was not affecting anybody's being, just was being myself, and things were happening. So both of these, especially the happiness side, will remind me that it has always happened so. It's only that I'm realizing it consciously now. So it's not new to me. I need to remind myself that I'm not getting into any uncharted territory. This has always been so. And so be it.
So it's interesting how you said how you changed doom to don't later on. But No, Mugdha, it's really been a pleasure. And I just want to ask you, how would you like to conclude our conversation for the day? Do you think it's a good time to conclude? And if so, how would you like to?
Yes, yes, it is, of course. And what I would like to say is, Bhavna, with my uniqueness and my analogies, I go in many directions, like a poet who I am, a poet. So to hold me, it requires quite a stability, a simplicity, silence, and to the point space, which you provide me, in spite of the fact that you are quite a poet yourself. So you keeping it simple and steady helped me roam around, which I would have felt little afraid. But what am I doing? I would have lost the plot, 1% chance. With you being there, I don't have to worry about that. I could actually dance, and get my answer. So thank you very much for being here.
Thank you so much, Mugdha. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Thank you.
It is beautiful coaching and awareness from you, Mugdha, on your own flow as you went through the session. I love the acknowledgement you gave to Bhavna at the end, where just being there and holding the space for you brought out many, many layers and facets of you. I was so aware of, the parts when you move from your head into lower and then you came back there and figured things out. And, even at parts brought your hands together. I was so aware of the way you were using your body and your hands, even to explain your words. It was wonderful for us to all, walk beside you as you went through this coaching process. Thank you. Bhavna, thank you. I'd like to invite you, Bhavna, is there anything else you would have liked to have said to Mugdha? Maybe take the opportunity to do it now or talk about it. Anything else you would have liked to have said?
Yeah, at one point, because she was so expressive in person, which caught me by surprise, right? And she's always a delightful coachee, and because of our chemistry together, it's just really beautiful. I wanted to write up front, which I usually do with a lot of my clients. I was going to do an exercise of parts integration where, the two dilemmas, two hands, her hands were moving, and bring them together, and poof, it would have happened. So I must admit that there was a pull to sort of go there, and until the moment, because I think she's very expressive with her words as well. So that moment passed. In the end, I was again going to explore a little bit more about that voice that pushes and says that do. And I wanted to at least bring it up, although we were in the end of the conversation, at least kind of bring it up. And I guess that sort of also passed. So there were a lot of opportunities where I would love to, do like a longer exploration. But yeah, it was a good learning for me to sort of, like Mugdha said, I didn't realize there was a lot happening. So as a coach, I would always feel that, I could have caught up on this, I could have caught up on that, and but I know it went the way it meant to go. But I'd like to hear from you as well, Cindy, on what were some other things that could have gone, something that you caught on, which.
Oh no, I think you held the session beautifully, for the many, many, many layers and facets showing up in the client. How you held the session to the progress of what client wanted. It's beautifully done. And Bhavna, no two coaches will ever coach alike, right?
That's true.
You know your client. You and Mugdha, as you said, Mugdha has chemistry. Because I mean, I enjoyed watching you and more interesting how the client flowed in the space of the coaching. But sometimes coach doesn't need to do much. Clients will flow. It'll all come out, right? Talking about their awareness and potential. So I see some questions showing up from our participants. And the one I'm going to raise is the one on our Q&A chat. Claudia asked, would a dialogue between the two parts, being a witness and leading, be something the coach can propose in the MCC level conversation?
Okay. Do I have to answer that?
I think we can talk about it. What do you think? Yeah.
That would be one way to go as well, certainly. And sometimes I get, like I said, the two parts, using the hands, involving the body is helpful. So you could say, okay, this one's talking and this one. So certainly an option.
Yeah. I think Claudia nailed it there when she said, could it be proposed? Because we can invite our clients into that space, right? And it's up to them to say, yes, I'd love to explore that, or no, that won't be necessary right now.
I want to share something with everybody who's watching here, which Cindy taught me, which during my MCC, and till this day, that is one of the most valuable things that I think I learned, that if there is a question or a doubt, just ask the client. Just ask, and there is no wrong answers. And so that is an extremely valuable thing that I learned during my MCC from Cindy. I must share that. You're on mute, Cindy.
I'm checking to see if there's any other questions. And Mugdha, may I invite you also, please, I know you're an MCC today, play the role of a client. So go ahead and contribute. Anything you want to say about how we partner with the client in a coaching conversation?
I would like to say, with my experience with working with underprivileged people, I work with people who are not aware of coaching process, people from different walks of life and different level of understanding of themselves and life. And every time, if you can just hold the space, their uniqueness comes out like a stream wanting to erupt or wanting to flow. So there is a question whether the client will be expressive or not expressive. It depends on the being of the coach, how unconditional one can be. So for a person like me, Bhavna, who holds herself at the level 0, is very important. She ensures that she does not give me any kind of positive or negative judgmental looks, or even a smirk, or even an expression which can tell me how she's interpreting what I'm saying. She just keeps that understanding in her eyes and total attention to me. I know she's really listening, and she really genuinely wants to understand. And that's enough. And then I do not want any more of Bhavna while I'm expressing myself. So she keeps it at that. She does not bring her wisdom. She does not bring her judgment. She might be actually, as my friend, dying to tell me, hello, Mugdha, why don't you realize this? I know this about you. You should be doing this and you should be doing that. But her holding herself back really helps me to find my own answers my way. So anytime, rather than doing the coaching, not doing the coaching role, being as invisible as one can, helps the client be coach of oneself. And I think that is the target of every coaching. client finding one's own answer. So although I know that I was coaching myself, I am shamelessly putting it as a learning for every coaching conversation, that this is what needs to happen in any coaching session. And this is what happens even when I coach anybody anywhere. They end up coaching themselves. And people wonder whether we were actually requiring Mugdha at all or not. And in my heart, I smiled that, yeah, that's it. Mugdha did a good job. Next time they want to have a coaching conversation, they know how to have a coaching conversation with themselves. That's the most empowering thing one can do to one's client. So I adore this invisibility, and I wanted to demonstrate that when that invisibility is provided by the coach, how the client flourish. And that is not only Mugdha, it will happen with anybody when the client hold the when the coach holds the space like that.
Yeah, that was beautifully communicated, Mugdha, and such a valuable point in coaching, right? That we shouldn't really interfere with our clients' processes, but allow it to flow in that expanded way, going beyond what they started with, and noticing all those little nuggets showing up in them. And some of those nuggets we don't need to pick up. The client knows what to do with it.
Right. Yeah, Mugdha, thank you. That was really well said. I just saw a question in the chat, which, if it's okay, can I answer? Where somebody asked that if it was not somebody who's as expressive and talkative, how do you get them to talk more? I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of who asked, but in my experience, when the one thing that I've learned is the more confident you become as a coach is when you become more and more humble, and you know that you don't know. If you come in with the intention of care and love and keep working on yourself, so it's the energy you bring to the conversation. If you keep working on that energy, I work with very senior cognitive, highly cognitive, some high EQ as well, clients who are really like, top-notch companies, working go. And I have people really opening up. So it's always the energy that you bring as a coach and the trust that you sort of convey to them. And even the most quiet of people will start sharing when that happens. So it really doesn't matter. And also, like, you have to match the pace of the client. So in the beginning, you do that. But it's all the work that you do on yourself that you bring to the conversation, just your energy.
We're almost at the end of our time. And I would also like to invite Neha, who's on this call, to share anything that showed up for her and she wants to say something about. Neha?
Hello, ladies. Wow, that was incredible, illuminating, rejuvenating. So Mugdha and Bhavna, I don't know if you know this. I'm sure everybody in the audience know this. Cindy is bored of me saying it. I have started my coach training recently. We've just had our 5th session this week. And we just started coaching. So to be able to witness a live coaching session you can see I'm like glowing, I'm super excited, and I've learned so much just from this session. I think the first thing is, like I've been typing it throughout, but like, Bhavna, your presence is just palpable, even for me. Like I was like, this is a safe space even for me, maybe I can start. It was really beautiful and powerful, and calming at the same time. I don't know how else to put it. And I'm sure Mugdha, you're nodding along, right? Like you felt that. And even though I know you said that you're friends with Bhavna and there's already a closeness there, but it wasn't just that, right? There's something more. It's just beautiful. Bhavna, I see you've unmuted. Is there something you'd like to say?
No, I just wanted to say thank you for being so generous with your words, and it means a lot, really.
Yeah. It's just beautiful to watch. And yes, as you were discussing, like the simplicity of silence and allowing people to go through their own work. It's just wonderful. Mugdha, I was also commenting on, wow, what a self-aware client you have, you know, already, you know, she knows herself so well. She's articulating herself so well too. You know, it's not just that you know yourself, you think about stuff, but you also articulate, put across really well in a way that even I could understand what you were saying and go along with you on that journey from point A to point B. And it really seemed like there was some tangible progress there. So it's just beautiful to watch how much of a transformation can take place through a session, and the fact that it's just about presence and the container that you create.
Thank you, Neil. I want to thank all the coaches, participants on this call for also contributing. It was lovely listening to you through your words coming on the chat box. And, you know, continue joining us for these webinars, because we are going to expand uniqueness in coaching in many different forms. I want to invite both Mugdha and Bhavna to complete. From my side, thank you, everyone. See you next month. Mugdha, Bhavna?
Just only gratitude. Thank you so much, and much love to everybody for you know, really being there and listening. So I'm so grateful. Thank you.
And Mugdha, Bhavna, I have to say this. You didn't invite Mugdha. It was I who invited
Yes, you did.
her. Yeah. And she only said yes yesterday. Yeah. Yeah. So
Like
it was I
Mugdha
who
said, Cindy, like Mugdha said, you were the component in the universal conspiracy to bring us together. You asked me to think, and I was thinking, and then the moment you said Mugdha, I felt a sense of relief, and I was so happy.
Mugdha, you end the session. Over to you.
I would talk about the dilemma with which I came in this session, being or doing. And I see it because I'm into it, and I just got out of it. The entire session, I would like to summarize with that being is the 51%. And even for coach needs to work on one's own being. Bhavna was working on her own being, and that is what was making herself more effective. So let's continue being and help people realize their own being. A person as articulate, as poetic, as analogy driven, as overthinker like me also can be handled well by a coach because I'm difficult to hold on to. So holding me is not so easy. So and as you can hear, Bhavna has many high-end clients, and I have underprivileged clients, masses. Whether it is highly privileged or underprivileged, whether it is coach or client, fact remains that everyone needs to focus on their own being and have a space where they can being themselves. So I would remember this entire evening as a victory of being, whichever may be the role, whichever may be the client.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us, Mugdha and Bhavna. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Have a great day, evening, morning, everyone. Take care. Bye.